Hello, family. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining. Please do remember to subscribe, to like, and to give a comment. As well, share the video so that this channel can be pushed forward to many more viewers. Sometimes we are the ones who hold back our blessings by the words that we speak out of our mouths. We say negative things over our lives, and thus it happens. The Word of God says death and life is in the power of the tongue, and many times we speak death over our lives. And we see things happening in our lives negatively, and we are saying, why are these things happening? But if we reflect back on some things that we have said, we will realize that it is us who've caused our own delays and our own problems and all these unnecessary stress and issues in our lives. Like me, as I must be open and I must be fair and speak and say the truth, I always speak these things over my life when I was small. As I grew up in a large family, it was me and my 7 siblings and my parents. So it was a large family. In all, it was 10 of us living. My parents and 8 kids, 8 of us. And it was very hard. We were very poor. And the situation was daunting. And because of that, I spoke some things over my life because I was the second child, and being bigger or older than the rest, you have to be doing parental duties, helping out your parents. You have to be cooking for a large family, washing for a large family, taking care of babies, changing baby nappies. At that time it was nappies, washing the nappies, walking the baby. You have to be doing so many things, tidying up the house, sweeping the yard, going to the pipe for water because we didn't have running water in our house. And you have to carry the water on your head, the buckets. You have to be going to the bush far to carry load for my mother to go to the market. On Friday evenings, when we are home from school, you have to go to the bush very far and carry those things on our heads. So it was daunting, and me being a child, not understanding, I often said that I am not going to have any kids and I am not going to get married because I've seen how poverty stresses out my parents, and it was just quarreling and all of that stuff going on in the house. And yes, though we were Christians, it was just misery. And because I'd seen all of that, I decided that I wasn't going to get married and I wasn't going to have any kids. And even though I got baptized at age 12, I still held on to all of that. I still said as a teenager, I wasn't going to have any children and I wasn't going to get married. And thus those things that I spoke from my mouth affected my life. Even as a young adult in my 20s, going into 25, going into 26, I still said that I didn't want to have any children. And I still said that I didn't want to get married because it was so hard when we were growing up, being so poor, not having food to eat, not having shoes to wear, not having, we couldn't buy new clothes and we had to be wearing hand-me-downs and all of that. So it affected me. No, I'm not ungrateful. I was ungrateful at that time as a teenager. I was I didn't know how to appreciate it. It just tormented me. And I just decided that I wasn't going to take on those responsibilities. It was too hard, too much. I had too many responsibilities being so young. So I decided that I'm going to live my adult years free. I want to live a completely free life, no responsibilities. No, I just want to take care of me. And because I'd spoken those things out of my mouth, it affected my life. So now I'm an adult, grown adult, age 43, going on to 44. And now, looking back in my life, I am now saying that I would want to have a child, at least one, and also want to get married. But my words have hindered all of that and has affected it, because I believe that due to those things that I had spoken caused all of these illnesses to have come upon me, the fibroids. Now it's a case that maybe I'm not able to have any children. Why? Because of the fibroids. And it will only take the grace and mercy of God to intervene and to bless me with a child, if He chooses to give me an husband. Because I also did say to Him, God, I'm going to live my life for you. I'm not going to get married. So I spoke those words and made those commitments and vows to God that I'm not going to get married. So because of those things, I think it had affected me, saying those things because of lack of knowledge and not being taught the right way, how to appreciate, and not being shown or seeing marriage's work. Until now, lately in my adult life, I've seen a few marriages that are strong and good and working. But then back then I didn't see any. And in Jamaica mostly, the men don't want to get married. They prefer to have a woman and call them their wife, but not getting married, not legally married. And therefore, we didn't see a lot of marriages. And the very few that I saw wasn't promising at all. Yes, some of those persons kept on in their marriages for years and still living together, but I tell you, at that time, they're just now enjoying their marriages. But then it was terrible. So that's the reason why I had decided that I didn't want to get married, and told God that I didn't want to get married. I told Him I was going to live for Him. I don't want to get married. I'm not going to get married. So those things, I believe, why it causes, as the word of God said, death and life is in the power of the tongue. I spoke those negative things over my life, so it happened. So I don't get married, I don't have any children, and I know of fibroids. So that's an hindrance. So therefore I want to speak to us. Do not speak negative over your life. Do not cause your own delay. Do not cause your own misery. Do not cause your own problem. I'm not saying that I'm miserable. I'm not miserable. As a matter of fact, I do like my single life. I do like the peace, the quiet, and the calm. Honestly, because I grew up in so many noise. Every day is an issue, problem, quarrel every day. And there's just so many of us, and there's a little space, a tiny space. All of us chopped up in a tiny space. So we didn't have any space for ourselves. So now that I'm living on my own, I do have my space and I'm loving it. I'm really content. Really do. I'm content. But I get to realize as I grow closer with God that it was in God's will and intention for us to be married. It was in God's will and intention for us to have children. And it was in God's will and intention for us to be blessed and have a blessed life, including being married. So amidst the fact that I do like my singleness, I am enjoying it, and I'm not stressed out and miserable. But I do know that it is the will of God for us to be married and to have children. And I want to honor that will. So if it pleases the Lord to forgive me of my foolishness and my foolish talks, and chooses to bless me with a husband and a child, I will appreciate it. And I will learn how to incorporate peace and joy and happiness in that marriage. I don't have to live like how I see other married couples live, bad and terrible with their marriages. My marriage can be different. It can be one that is fulfilling and loving and pleasing to God. So today I want to encourage you, do not speak negative words over your life. Things that you don't understand, even if you're struggling now and in pain and agony and poverty and all sort of things happening, it's not going to be forever. It's not going to be forever. God is going to pull you through and pull you out. So right now in your misery season, do not look at the misery and speak according to the misery. Speak as how you want things to be. If it is that you want peace, joy, happiness and contentment and blessing, speak that over your misery. Say, misery, I condemn you. And I decree and declare that I'm living a life of peace, joy, happiness, contentment and blessings in abundance, financial wealth, prosperity and the joy of the Lord. And I'm happy. And the more you declare that over your life, the more it's going to come to pass in your life. And speak positive. Bless the name of the Lord. Go forward by faith. God bless you. If you do like this content, please again give a share, give it a like, please subscribe and give a comment. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Peace.